The biggest trap that researchers and other people think they know the secret is falling in that trap. We're still awakening after that every day. Because in Socrates' ancient Greece, wisdom is knowing how little we know. So I always gone on that basis that whatever we think we know is always more to know. And this is the big truth without questioning the truth. Going deeper in the rabbit hole and asking, where is all this coming from? What's going on in the world today? Because I concluded very long time ago. I realized when I start putting things together, places, information, there's no way it could be orchestrated purely by people sitting around the table deciding the next move. It's much bigger than that. So how big and where it goes, where it comes from. And the sequence of my life, since I had my head blown off awakening, and the sequence of what happened in my life, it was a pursuit. Where are these coming from? And it was the knowledge, what we see. And there we think what we know about what's going on. It's only a fractional part of what is there to know. And so what I've done over these last years is span out from just the daily events and the news, or what this is saying, or what he's saying, or what she's saying. I want to know what's behind them all. And so I've been on this journey, going deeper till today. It started off basically looking at the name, places, word, and I went deeper with my psychic investigation beyond the gates that they are locking us in, or what the weak coven think themselves orchestrating. I went to the deep to who's manipulating. It started with my life. They wanted to manipulate me. And then I realized all this pyramid, like this, all this pyramid is the layers, and it's all anti-human. Every area that essential in your life, it's food, atmosphere, technology, even the nature of the people and the body, the synthetic, mRNA, the vaccine, all this hit together in the one. It was blown up. I was like, oof. I'm not only just targeted about my personal life as a divine creation and a divine being. Thus, all of what may be being targeted by a non-human force behind all these fools. Non-human force behind them all. And that's where I was looking at until I started to go deeper. And what turned out was the trap. I guess to start is to go back to the till of the millennium. And I just felt so powerfully by the time I start knowing that we live in a simulation. Technologically, massively advanced version of a virtual reality computer. كل الكلاونز دي in this virtual, from the top of the pyramid down to the skulls. When you become to be aware of is the speed of light. And the speed of light is not the fastest as they say. Yes. I believe we live in a simulation, and the limits of it, speed of light. But that's not true, because there is above that simulation. The limit of what we call the speed of light is the processing speed of this simulation. And so if you are only aware and mesmerized by the simulation and the information that is feeding you, it's not a physical construct simulation, it's an information of a simulation of a headset that being fed to you that gives you different reality. Oh. What we call the laws of physics are actually the rules of the simulation that are being encoded to it. That's one reason why their near-death experience leave the body. They experience a different reality for a minute. And this is very far in the trap. But clearly, what was described as law of physics in the level of what we experience in the five sciences I call body, mind, is not the true nature of our reality. The laws of physics, as we call them, are actually just encoding what rule the situation. You unencode whatever rules and laws that you want in your game, which is still going to be limited, while the processing speed of a computer system, or whatever you want to call it, working on the speed of light, is not so long exploring. See, the universal laws, consciousness, when you operate, you realize that the physics are the rules of the simulation, but they are not true. Gravity, not true. Chemistry, they didn't teach us the other side of the Parmenidic table and the dimension beyond that. The people often, when they think about the dimension, they think other dimensions are way out where, and in a frequency terms, and compared to a vibration of a frequency out there, where somewhere out there the dimension, far away from me. But they are other frequency bands, called them dimensions, which in very much closer than you can ever imagine. In the spiritual arena and in the nature cultures, they call it the astral. I call it the fourth dimension. And beyond that, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you awaken, you'll expand the awakening. And you will realize this expanded consciousness beyond the third dimension, beyond the fourth dimension, where the high vibrational beings, call it fifth, the events happening in it, to information, knowledge, awareness, knowing, it has never been tempered or touched by the fourth simulation. And that's when you wake up. Whoa! Why didn't I say it before? And you will realize it's not far away from you. It's what we call it an empty space. An empty space. Any empty space. So, what is the series of amazing synchronicity in my life? I start pointing the dots from this reality to what's being manipulated, to what has never been ever known, heard, touched. And I realized that even how they are attacking us and the weapons, the manipulation of the lower astral of demons and demonic consciousness, distorted consciousness, that they are lost souls. It's a mess. It's very low vibration. It's very dark and very confusing, very chaotic, but they don't have power as you may think. So clear it is that this word is being manipulated from those lower levels that doesn't hold power anyway. So what it means, this cult, that it's part of my journey that I'll be exposing. It's actually an extension, an expression of this lower astral consciousness. And when I told them, I don't fear you, one smear, I wasn't joking about it. They laughed. They was like, we'll see. We'll have to give him a lesson. They started operating in dimension, invading dreams. Yeah, your spirit man, the virtual reality, the fake. They could never ever touch me. I'm on the 5 and the 6, actually on the brutal truth, between the archangel, looking and watching my angels. And I was so surprised how many enemies I have. They call us crazy when we end up right and when we beat their ass. I don't fear them one smear, and they freaking fucking